Though the young woman had wild legends surrounding her, in person she was rather ordinary, at least by her town standards. She was of medium height, stocky but fit, with tan skin and a splash of freckles dusting her nose. Her long, messy hair was pulled into a loose braid that hung down one shoulder. She tucked the rebellious strands that escaped and blew around her face on blustery days under a gleaming silver helmet that shaded her determined sage green eyes that seemed to have layers of shine like polished wood. A scar ran across the bridge of her rounded nose, and smaller scars peppered the rest of her face like flecks of snow. Covering her chest and torso was a breastplate made of copper, leather, and fabric. She wore an olive green tunic that, if you looked at it closely, you would see that it was actually an intricate tapestry of impossibly thin, dark green vines with curling tendrils, though they were so well woven that even if you saw it with your own eyes, you still wouldn't believe that it wasn't fabric. Looping around the woman's waist was a leather belt from which hung a sword. A dagger was often strapped to her thigh, and her stance and posture made her always seem ready to dual wield blades at a moment's notice. As soon as whichever poor fool who tried to arrest this legend of a criminal cornered her, they had seen right away that it was hopeless. The few who had known her, however, had seen her true self. It was hard to see, absolutely, but much harder to understand it and match it with the myth everyone else knew. And yet no one had even heard from her in many years, not since the day when the sky had turned black. And slowly the memories started to die with the legends.
Beautiful. All right, look, Yuling, let me just say something because it's now officially class is over. It's 10:30. We'll continue though for a little bit. Goodbye, Yuling, if you've just left. Next week is book club for those of you who are in it. If you're not in it, you can always go. You can always register. So there's no class next week. Is that right, Taylor?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. And then the following class, which will be May 7th, Perry is going to be teaching. All right.
Okay.
And then, okay. Pearl, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, if the class is over time, can I still share?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you can still share. But I want to then talk about this really fabulous piece that Anya just read. Obviously, it's fantasy, science fiction fantasy. Very, 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 very well imagined character, Anya. Very well imagined. And here she's done something that no one else has done. She's introduced the character almost first, about wild legends surrounding this person that she then goes on to describe. But the first introduction, the first sentence is that there were wild legends. So we immediately understand that this person is going to be somewhat larger than life. I thought it was beautiful language, medium height, and nice language, splashes of freckles. And freckles, that's what it's like. It is like somebody has splashed paint, and you've got these splashes of color on your face. Very beautiful. Long, messy hair, also good. And then rebellious strands. And I think that is a nice word to use because you've got somebody who's armed to the teeth, it sounds like. Maybe something of a rebel, we don't know, but beautiful. And then you've got the rebellious strands, and then a reference to how in a blustery wind they might blow around. So well imagined. And then getting integrated into the lots of scars on her face, which will make sense when we realize later that she's actually armed and stands like a warrior. She's always ready to draw. And then the description that gets us into this sort of otherworldly clothing. There's some copper involved, but then the tunic is a tapestry, and clearly Anya knows a lot about cloth because she emphasizes that you wouldn't believe it was tapestry, you'd think it was cloth because it was so fine. But tapestry is not woven. Tapestry is one by one what's weaving, but it's color by color. It's very complicated. It isn't just an in out. It's done by hand, and tapestries generally are thick. So that's nice, and that's really, really beautiful. So we've got an idea of a costume from a different world. and descriptions that are all integrated with the character. Super nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.